So we are back, and Chuck is in a different position. I swear I didn't fuck with him. But yeah, I had to stop recording so I could look at how the technical parts of the bicycle work so that I could draw it correctly. Because there's nothing worse than like drawing something and then realize what you drew isn't actually how it is. But yeah, so I had to come in here and add this little circle. This part goes in here. This is the part that is like the, what is it? I don't know. It's like you got like this thing coming in right here. Anyways, I also had to look at how the frame looks. So I'm basically coming in here to pretty much finish it up. Gonna come down like that. Basically I have to look at like the general outline of what it's supposed to look like, and then from there you can pretty much wing it. But it's supposed to be in like the shape of an eye, I guess, kind of like that going on. But yeah, I like lowrider bicycles. Back in Arizona growing up, when I was like maybe 7 or 8, I guess, there's like all these little gangster kids, and I was like the poor trailer trash kid, and we'd go to the apartments down the block and go hang out with the ghetto kids, because the ghetto kids were richer than us. We were just trailer trash kids, and they'd all be riding their gangster lowrider bikes, and I thought that was pretty cool, seeing these tricked out bicycles, little gangster kids. But yeah, one day I'm gonna get a lowrider bicycle. I think they're like $300. The cheapest ones you can get is like $200. But I wouldn't mind getting a cheap one, because the bicycle I have right now is a Schwinn. I wouldn't mind getting a Schwinn. In fact, speaking of Schwinn, let's put the Schwinn logo. Here we go. Or what we can fit in there. Yeah, there we go. It's the Schwinn logo right here. It's like a little cross. You can barely even see it, because you'd have to pretty much know what it is, I guess. Once it's colored, you'd probably be able to tell. But yeah, Schwinn. I want to get a Schwinn bicycle. Lowrider bicycle. It's like, I don't know, it's pretty late right now over here in Texas. This here's Texas. I'll tell you what. So yeah, I'm just trying not to mess up while trying to be funny at the same time. And hopefully this bicycle picture turns out pretty decent, as my pal Bubbles would say. Yeah, speaking about trailers, fucking I love Trailer Park Boys. I was like so excited when they came out with the new season. What was it, season 5 or something? My parents probably think I'm crazy because I'm sitting here talking, making a video. They probably think I'm talking to myself. But I am talking to myself right now. But when someone watches this, I'll be talking to you. So whatever. Anyways, Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, I love that show because it reminds me of when I was a kid. Except for they're grown men. But basically the mentality is the same. No offense, y'all. But that's the same kind of crap me and my brother used to do in Arizona. Just run around and getting into trouble. But we didn't do drugs or alcohol back then. We were too young for that. I didn't even know what marijuana was at the time. I promise. And I think I didn't learn about marijuana until I moved to Texas. But anyways, not that that matters. I sure hope they legalize it here in Texas, because I hear there's a lot of benefits to smoking about it. I don't really know if it's true, but that's just what I hear. But, yeah, like, you can stop seizures and whatnot. And, supposedly eating it, not smoking it, but eating it cures cancer. And it's really funny, too, because you got cops who'll bust you for having marijuana, and then the cops will turn around and smoke it or take it. They won't even write you up for it, they'll just take it. And it's like, these cops are enforcing laws in their favor. And I'm getting on to the political shit. Y'all don't want to hear about political shit. But I ain't got nothing else to talk about, and you know that's what I believe in. You know, they're over here importing it. I hear, like, and they got contracts with people to import their weed, and you can't send them to jail because they got a contract with the government. And then it gets over here, the people that imported it sell it to make money, and then it ends up in the streets. And then let's go make more money. Let's go confiscate the money that we just sold. Let's go confiscate the drugs that we just sold. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? And yeah, I just fucked up right here. Don't tell anyone though, or I'll confiscate all your drugs. But anyways, yeah, they need to legalize weed here in Texas. Cause I got so many friends that they're decent people. They're some of the nicest people I've ever met. And they got in trouble for weed. And it's like, what the hell is the deal, y'all? Like, just legalize it. Like, how many states in America have already legalized it? I think that's just silly. Like, if people wants to smoke a plant that God made, let them smoke it. You know, heroin's illegal, but you know, they make drugs out of heroin, like painkillers. And that shit ain't illegal. You know, there's benefits to any drug when used correctly. I'm basically using squares right here. Our friend Alex would probably be laughing his ass off. Square tires is the jokes he used to kind of always make back in the day. But yeah, that's just like a rough outline for that going on. See this straight line right here? That was supposed to be a twisty, but I got caught up in the moment of talking, and I kind of don't really give a fuck either. Excuse my language. I do care. That's probably why I just cussed, because I wanted it to be swirly. But, yeah, square tires. Anyways, square tires. And, my friend Mark McMurray, I'd always be drawing a really nice picture, really decent. And, I'd mess up because I draw in pen all the time, you know, I never draw in pencil. That's the other thing, when you're drawing with pen, always work left to right, because unless you're right-handed, unless you're left-handed. If you're right-handed, and you start on this side, and you work this way, the ink won't smudge. But if you start over here and work that way, your palm is going to smudge the ink when you go that way. So always start over here if you're right-handed, and move to the right. If you're left-handed, start from the right and move to the left. But anyways, my friend Mark, he'd always be like, dude, you just threw away an awesome picture, man. Like, you were just working on that picture for hours and you just threw it away. And I'm like, yeah, well, I fucked up on it. You know, what am I going to do? And he's like, well, you can always fix it. And, you know, it never really occurred to me. He's like, if you're a good artist, then you'll be able to turn anything into art. You know, even your mess-ups, you'll be able to fix them. And, that was a pretty interesting concept, because basically I'm not that bright. I'm still learning a lot of stuff, but you know, most of the stuff that I learned, not most of it, but I guess some pretty decent stuff that I've learned came from my friends. It didn't really come from school or parents. It came from young kids with good ideas. And that's why I really don't respect adults. Because most adults I encounter are not open-minded. So, like, they just want to not really pay attention to anything that I have to say just because of maybe past mistakes I've made, or just the fact that I'm younger than them. They just want to totally disregard anything I have to say just because of my age, and I'm just like, that's pretty biased, you know? So I don't really respect adults. And then again, I do try to respect everyone equally, but, you know, if you're not going to respect what I have to say, then I'm not going to respect what you have to say. Unless you're right, then I will take that into consideration, you know. But, yeah, that's basically a lowrider bicycle right there. With the straight line, lame. But, yeah, let's put a light on the back. And we can put a light like this. Give it a fancy little line right there. Give it like that. I don't know, that really doesn't look like a light, but that's what it is. So if you ask me, that's what I'll tell you. Yeah, adults, open your mind, you know. Have an open mind. You know, the world was flat once, and now we think it's round, just because everyone says it's round. And it's like, who really knows what the world is? If it's round, flat, maybe it's both, who knows, you know? How are you going to prove it until you go to space and see it for yourself? And I don't know anyone that's been to space, so if you try to tell me the world's flat or round, you know, I'm still not going to believe you. Because all you have is what the media has told you, you know? Well, we took pictures from space. Oh, you did you? Well, how do I know you went to space? I don't, so I don't believe you. My whole philosophy on life, not that anyone cares, you're probably just here trying to learn how to watch, learn how to watch a video. You're probably here trying to learn how to draw if you're watching this, but my whole philosophy on life is, it's just a theory, because I believe that you can't actually know anything, which is a contradiction, because if you know that you can't know anything, then you just contradicted yourself. But basically my thing is, all you can know is a theory. You can't really know a fact. Because if I tell you that this is matter right here, quantum physics says that it's actually energy vibrating 1,000,000 times per second into material form and then into energy form, and it's constantly going back and forth, so it's like actually energy and matter. And they don't teach you that in school, which is funny, because if you're paying them all your taxpayers' money to educate you, you'd think they'd be teaching you the most latest information, but they're actually just teaching you what they've been taught and continuing the lies. You gotta go to college in order to get a real education, supposedly. But I didn't go to college and I've got an education. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube. I have a bunch of friends that are into metaphysical stuff and like to ponder on theories and stuff. And, you know, that's really all I believe. This is just my theory, in my opinion, is that you really can't know anything. You can just hypothesize, because if you do an experiment 100 times and you get the same outcome every single time, then you accept that outcome as fact. But what if you tested 101 times, and on that 101 time, the outcome is different? But how would you ever know until you tested it that one more time? So that's my thing, is like, you can get the same outcome a bunch of times, but there might be that one time that you didn't test it, that you got a different result. But since you never took it that one step further, you'll never know now. So the only way to really achieve a fact, in my opinion, would be to test something an infinite amount of times. But we all know that you can't test something an infinite amount of times because no one lives that long to test it. So therefore, you only have a limited amount of data and you draw a conclusion from that. And you might tell me that this paper is white, and you'd be telling the truth, but then at the same time you're still lying because the paper is actually like every single color except for white, and that's why you're able to perceive the absence of what the color is, or something like that. How does that work? If you have a blue blanket, it's like every color except for blue, and the blue is being absorbed into your eye and reflected off the thing because it's the absence of blue. So it's like you may be telling the truth, but you're also telling a lie. So it's like it's a contradiction. I don't know. Basically, I don't really. I like to hear ideas, but when you tell me that it's the truth, I'm not going to agree with you because I don't believe that there's a truth. It's possible, but I just don't believe that I've ever heard one. Everything I believe is just theories. So, that's me. And I think this bicycle's pretty much done. So let's go ahead and slap my initials on it. This way, if they copyright it, they'll have to edit out my initials. One day I'd like to get paid money to make art. I think that would be pretty cool. But until then, I'm stuck in a dead-end job. I don't even have a job right now, actually. I still need to get one. I've been calling everyone, but I'm stuck out here in Montgomery, Texas. And I've pretty much worked at all the places that I can walk to because I don't have a car. I have a bicycle. Bicycles don't pollute the air either, so I think that's pretty cool. Except for the tires are made out of petroleum. I don't know, whatever. But, bicycles are less pollutant than a vehicle, unless you're driving one of them eco cars. Anyways, what am I getting out here? Yeah, if y'all know anyone that wants to offer me a job, throw it my way, because I'm broke and I got a dog that needs food. Anyways, that's my bicycle. Alright. Tune in next time. We're going to teach you how to draw. I don't know, tune in next time and you'll figure it out, because I haven't decided that yet. Okay, bye.